Stripes has been doing this to me, only I don't think it's terror so much as curiosity. He will, if I'm taking, it's when I take a bath. A shower, they don't really bother with that much because they know it's quick. But if I'm in the bath and I will go in, soak, and I relax, I enjoy it. It's soothing to me. But Stripes will come in, like meowing, purr meowing at me, and look at me, and he'll jump on the toilet, he'll walk on the edge of the bathtub, he'll nuzzle the shower door, he'll be like, I love you, hi, can I join you? He won't jump in.
A long time ago, I had a yellow tabby. Just a standard striped Purina cat chow yellow tabby looking thing. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Morris the cat, basically.
And, this cat was hated by everybody because this cat didn't know how to play gently, like, in the least. But with me, it was fine. He played rough with me all day long, and it was perfectly fine. So this cat got very attached to me. To the point that if I were actually laying down in a shower, or in a bath, you know, just kind of soaking, the cat would bravely find the spot where I was sticking up out of the bath, any part of my body that was sticking, and go and lay down on it, even if, you know, he was getting soaked because, you know, there wasn't that much space that was actually completely dry. He would just sit there and take it. Just so he could stick around me and protect me from the water.
I wouldn't want to tell him. But, yeah, that's... Stripes doesn't do that. The other cats will check in on me, too. It's weird. It's like they're making sure I'm okay.
The dastardly water is going to get you.
They know I purposely go into the dastardly water. They can't stop me. They know I like it. They're cats. They're little goofballs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard to believe, but Nintendo is pretty much realizing that they're not winning any, you know, they're not winning any fans with how they treat their copyright. Well, at the same time, Bethesda is deciding to kill off any amounts of goodwill it ever built up.
I was never a hardcore Bethesda fan because as soon as people started telling me about how Bethesda was notorious for their glitches and stuff, it was like, well, then why would I want to play their game? They're a freaking AAA company. They should be checking this shit before it goes out the door.
You see, they got so much slack because their games were just so huge that at the time it would have taken them so much time to actually fully test everything and get every bug that could ever conceivably be found. At the time, it almost wasn't reasonable to ask them to completely test their games out. At the time. But they made such games that so many people absolutely loved them, and that everybody just kind of gave them a pass on the bugs. But now, good grief.
Here's the thing. It's like, okay, yes, if you make good games, yes, people are a little more forgiving about the bugs because, well, the game is good. It's worth the whatever.
And here's the thing that I don't get about Fallout 76. Yeah, the stupid freaking should have been a canvas bag. I mean, canvas bags aren't that expensive. Canvas is not that rare of a thing. You could make a good canvas bag for fairly cheap. It would not take much. But even putting that aside, you also have the bits where the complete collector's edition didn't even have a physical game disc in it. It just had a little cardboard disc that looked like a game disc.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah, they had cardboard discs in the actual steel cases and such that were part of the collector's edition. You still had to download the game. So they did that. And then, I don't know what prompted them to do it. I don't know what they were actually thinking other than, well, this'll be fast. That's the only thing, that's the only, benefit I could see to doing it the way they did. But they took Fallout 4... They took Fallout 4 and just ported that entire game engine over for an online multiplayer game. And you can see it because the bugs that originally existed and had only ever been fixed by player patch are still in the game. You can still find all the original bugs that shipped with Fallout 4 in Fallout 76. They never fixed them. Which is just kind of mind-blowing to me that they wouldn't have at least gone that far. Mm-hmm. They could have, they should have at least fixed that. The stuff that, they had to have players come in and do the patches for them. Extra. I thought I did.
Players probably would have done it for free.
Well, the players did it for free already.
They always said, "Hey, just give us a copy of the game and let us keep it." That's it. But they kept screwing up a lot of things.
And here's the thing about that. About using, Fallout 4. They have ZeniMax right there doing the Elder Scrolls Online for them. Why would you not just take advantage of this? I have another flower. That's what I was doing.
I have a funny, I think Bethesda's getting a little too big for the British. Because they've been given so much slack, but there is a limit to how much.
And I think they hit that limit and kept going. I'm pretty sure that they're not getting any slack anymore.
I would hope not. Not after this little fiasco. Yes, butterfly is very cute.
But no, it's just they have a company working for them that made a competent online MMO online even. Basically engine. They have that. And yet, what did they do? Decided to just use something that was never meant to go online.
Again, it's like most game, this is something I'm noticing is a lot of game companies don't seem to realize they're so short-sighted. It's not even oh, they're a little short-sighted and they made a mistake and, they're gonna have to win back goodwill. They are so freaking short-sighted, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
like they see a small piece of a picture, but they don't get the whole freaking picture. It's like, and some of this is stuff that technically, yes, this would be great in the long term for you if you do it right. Like Fallout Online, that would be an amazing thing. If
And
you
see,
do
it should have been an amazing thing. I mean, this is something they've got this huge fan base for. I mean, Fallout has a huge community around it.
And this happens. Same with Star Wars. Speaking of huge fan bases, like EA totally screwed that up with, like, that should have been an amazing thing. That should have been.
Yeah, that should have been a slam dunk. There should have been nothing that makes that bad. But guess what?
They found a way.
They found a way. They found a way to hork up probably the easiest money they could have ever made.
This is why, yes, Nintendo is bad with the copyright thing, but I don't get too mad at them, weirdly enough, because they don't pull that. Oh my god.
See, I can't get mad at them after they released the Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, because I look at that and go, oh my god, they could put microtransactions in this out the yin-yang.
And they don't.
And they didn't. They just didn't.
The only time I've seen anything microtransaction related in Nintendo are their two mobile games, Pokemon Go and Animal Crossing Pocket. And you don't really need them in those games.
You kind of do if you want to do heavy amounts. In Pokemon Go, you kind of need to, a little bit, just to buy more Pokeballs.
Okay, for more... Yeah, but they're like just they're general Pokeballs. You can't get like the super rare Pokeballs there. You have to go to the Pokestops.
No, you have to go to Pokestops to get the good stuff.
It's like, literally, it's like microtransactions if you run out of balls and haven't gone to a Pokestop for a while.
Yeah.
Which, if you live in like a big city or something, you're fine. Trust me, I know.
Oh yeah, if I actually just really, really want to. The management of AAA publishers is all about how can we increase profits tomorrow? What's going to save us a penny here and make us a penny tomorrow? What's going to make this quarter look better than last quarter? That is what the top brass is always thinking, because that's what their shareholders are thinking.
And yeah, just been thinking about it. Something like Let's Go Eevee or hell, Splatoon 2. There's a game that you could put like 1 billion microtransactions in and nobody would blink an eye.
Well, Splatoon I have different problems with, but you know. Splatoon I have the main problem of, okay, so how do people play this online without perfect internet connections? You don't.
To be fair, I have a perfect internet connection, and that's...
See, my internet connection isn't bad, but it's just not good enough to set up as a local server for them every time I want to play. So it doesn't let me online.
Still, it's... But you get my point. It's like, if that's their biggest problem and their copyright thing, and they're getting rid of the copyright issue slowly but surely, as in they're realizing their mistake. Nintendo is like the one AAA company that's not being a total stupid.
Oh god, now I look like Jack the Ripper.
At least that's my personal opinion about that. Well, so far Capcom has been okay, I think. What did you do?
I took off the ghost costume.
Congratulations. I'm going to water you now.
I now look like Jack the Ripper.
Online and Mario Party. Are you sure you want to cause World War III with that, Amonimus? Online colonial party. Well, the world had a great run. That's how you start wars. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the management level under the top brass isn't looking any further than the instructions they get from the top brass. Unfortunately, that's the way that works.
They're probably afraid to because, well...
Yeah, because they're easily disposable. I mean, how many people can tell Bobby Kotick no in his own company?
I don't know who that is, but I'm guessing not many.
EA.
Oh.
Or at least
Oh,
he used to be the main dude at EA.
Randy Pitchford is the one I know for Borderlands, and of course
Yeah.
the debacle that was Aliens, Colonial Marines.
Which was fixed by one letter.
I heard about that. I just sat there like, really?
Really? Yeah. That is so funny. If you don't know, there was a debacle based around Aliens, Colonial Marines, the release of it. Because the AI was just dumb. The AI was terrible in Aliens, Colonial Marines. So you'd have just entire spawns of mobs just kind of standing around. Or they might actually decide to walk towards the player, or in rare cases would actually run at the player. But that was the only thing that the mobs would do. They would run straight at you, walk at you, or stand, or just kind of do a patrol route and not see you. I can't remember the word, but basically whoever coded the AI for all the mobs misspelled a word in the code, and it was like player or character or something else, and they left the R off the end of the word.
Oh my god.
So somebody went in, read through everything, saw that, replaced the R, and then suddenly the AI was competent.
I am just getting this image of Homer Simpson programming it and writing, they are so smart. They are so smart.
S-M-A-T. They are so smart. In this case, you have to leave out the R when he says it.
Yes, that's what I was trying to do.
They are so smart. S-M-A-T. That's essentially what you got.
Oh my god. I don't know if it makes this better or worse, but
it makes it much better.
Oh my god. The thing is, the big part of the debacle I know about is the way Pitchford handled it because, well, people were pissed off about it.
Pitchford does not take criticism at all. And I'm sorry, I have to dab at my eyes a bit here and take a couple drinks.
Because of the funny?
No, because I was actually starting to... I was actually starting to really need a drink and my eyes were watering.
That's a weird combo.
I know.
But yeah, and it's just so, like, literally all you had to do was just go, okay, we'll recheck the code, and this would have been fixed years ago.
Yes, yeah. Instead, Pitchford was through his fits, and nobody actually, and basically threw his little tantrum. So he never actually got anybody to work on fixing it.
This is why I will not play Borderlands or any of Pitchford's games.
See, I wouldn't play Borderlands anyway because, well, first person, good God, I've tried to look at those and they hurt.
Well, the thing is, the aesthetic of Borderlands is something I like, so I'd probably give it a try even if I'm terrible. But because of the way Pitchford acted, I will not touch those games.
I mean, I can fully understand that. Don't get me wrong. I fully understand what you're saying.
Like, Well, fine, you just lost a customer, man. You say the market has spoken, well, I'm part of the market. I have spoken. Screw you and your games. But yeah, I have this weird thing where it's like, if a person is reprehensible enough or is in something that I absolutely do not agree with, I will not patron their art, so to speak.
Oh yeah, if you cross lines, I will just kind of pretend you don't exist.
A lot of people think I'm crazy, but like, I will not watch anything with Jim Carrey anymore because he's an anti-vaxxer. I refuse to watch anything with Tom Cruise in it because he's a Scientologist. Supposedly Will Smith was, but got out, so he's kind of on the fence because I don't know what the hell's going on with that. But you get the idea. It's like, if it's something that I think is just, nope, screw you, and the horse you rode in on. But if you stop doing the stupid thing, I'll go right back to patroning you. Because you stopped doing the stupid thing.
Oh no, I fully understand.
You're the first one to fully understand without me having to go into why the hell would I give money to somebody that's doing something I don't like.
Yeah, why would I willingly hand over my money and my time and my energy towards patronizing someone that, is going to create stuff that I find abhorrent in other fields.
Or at least, does something abhorrent in other fields. Because, I won't do Mel Gibson because he's an anti-Semitic jackass.
Yeah, yeah.
To be honest, I was never a big Mel Gibson fan anyway, so that helps.
I liked Lethal Weapon. But that was back in the 80s.
Yeah, but we all knew the truth. That's the shitty thing. It's like you either find out your favorite actors or actresses are amazing, or they're horrible. Thankfully I've had a very good streak.
Yeah.
Although I can't watch... Actually, this is also why I don't watch The Simpsons, because the voice of Bart Simpson is a Scientologist.
See, that I didn't know.
She is! Hardcore, too!
Yeardley Smith, huh?
Nancy Cartwright, yeah.
Or Nancy Cartwright, that's right. Yeardley Smith was Lisa, wasn't it?
Yeah, the thing is, this also means I have to, because she's actually a very big voice actor, I have to be careful what I watch because she could sneak in there. She snuck into a few cartoons when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So there are cartoons I cannot watch just on principle.
And the thing is, if I don't know that someone, is involved in that, if I don't know it, I'm not going to flagellate myself later for watching it if, I didn't recognize him in it or something.
Yeah, I won't either. It's like, oh crap, I made a mistake.
Oh god, Bruce wants more rabbits.
Damn it, Bruce! What are you eating them?
Well, that is a legitimate choice.
Except in this universe when there are anthropomorphic rabbits. Oh god. Where is it?
Oh yeah, actors are definitely not much different than the rest of us.
Sorry, the thought of animal cannibalism.
That's kind of what happens, though. To be realistic about it, that's kind of what happens.
No, the thing is that I thought of him eating anthropomorphic bunnies. My brain broke. But, oh my god. But it, like, I won't beat myself up for it. Like, I saw Scott Pilgrim, and I didn't know that Beck was doing a lot of the music. And Becky is a Scientologist.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that kind of made me not like the movie anymore a little bit, because I don't know, something about it bothered me, but and apparently the manga is better and gets more into what Ramona had to go through and all that.
It's possible.
Hmm.
I never got to see the comics or the manga or anything like that at all.
I didn't either, but
Sadly, I never even got to play the game.
I did get to play the game. The game was actually fun.
I mean, I know the game was fun. I've seen it, but I didn't have an Xbox at the time. So by the time it was, by the time I had a chance to get the Xbox, if I could stop stumbling over easy words, the game was already off the market.
That sucks. Yeah, I'm just more chattery today than playful. Hey, we have a podcast now with game footage, which is what most of YouTube does.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's what the Game Grumps have lived on for years.
that's true. Well, the current iterations, like, actually they've been doing other things too. They're doing, like, testing products and stuff called the Power Hour. They've been doing other things. And they're a lot better now that that racist is gone.
Hadn't he been gone for like a freaking long time, though?
I'm making a joke.
Hmm.
Yeah, I used to watch JonTron, but then I found all this out and I just immediately unsubscribed. And, like, I was mad. Like, really, dude? Oh well. I watch better stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Good, wholesome entertainment. Pro Jared.
Pro Jared, yeah. I like Pro Jared.
When he did his review of Quest 64, that's when I subscribed to him, because I never reviewed that game.
Take a guess what review it was that I subscribed to him on.
Oh god, probably Chrono Trigger, because he loves that game.
Nope.
Um,
Not a bad guess, but no.
Okay. That's the review.
It was a game I Let's Played.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what games he actually Let's Played. I'm gonna cheat a little bit.
I don't think he Let's Played.
Reviewed is what I mean.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm subscribed to this channel. That doesn't help me any.
It's one he didn't like.
Okay, it kind of helps. See, he did.
And he also did the sequels to this game.
Highlight? Oh, yeah, the highlight.
Yes! Yes!
Oh, I love those. Actually, he liked the second sequel, but he did not. Virtual Highlight, I think he threw up thing.
Yeah.
He hated it more than Highlight.
Mm-hmm. But no, I was like, yep, that's good right there. And it has come to pass that pretty much, if he has a good opinion on a game, odds are I am going to enjoy it. Because he seems to have very, very similar tastes to what I do.
There is one game I disagree with him on. He's not too fond of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, and I love that game. I know it's
It felt insulting to play it.
I know a lot of people feel that way. This was the first Final Fantasy game I ever played.
Which is fair, but I played Final Fantasy 1. Despite how random the final boss is. Literally, the end boss for Final Fantasy 1 uses RNG to determine what his attacks are going to be. I mean, so when I say random, I'm not, using it as a disparaging term. It's literally he is a random end boss and can just open up his biggest attack several times in a row.
My first real Final Fantasy game was 4, although it was 2 here in the States.
Yeah.
But I really liked 4, so... And I liked 6.
But no, I played Final Fantasy. I played 3 of the 4 NES Dragon Warrior games.
I never got to play those.
The funny story about those, I owned the first one. Everybody owned the first one. I think they gave it away and specially marked as a cereal at one point in time. But because they were really trying to get it to be as popular here in the States as it was in Japan. And
That's
I just
fair.
think it was kind of doomed to never hit that level of popularity.
At least not until many years later.
Yeah, not until the PlayStation era came along. But I had a guy at the time, I called him a friend at the time, and he asked to borrow a couple of Nintendo games from me. I don't recall both of them, that's how memorable they were. One of them was Battle Chess. The other game, I don't remember. Like I said, that's how memorable the other game was. And he, quote-unquote, lost them.
Ooh.
And what he actually did is he sold them to someone else.
Oh, the jerk.
Yeah. So basically, and I was bigger than him by a good bit, and I found out what he did. So I just kind of went over to his house like nothing ever happened. I kind of went, so, any luck turning up those games you lost for me? And he goes, nope, haven't found them yet. So I went, okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go into your room, I'm going to pick out 2 games to replace them because I already found out you sold them and found out who you sold them to. And he looked like he'd been struck by a poleaxe because he didn't expect me to find out.
Not a smart kid.
No, he was a smart kid. He just didn't think very far ahead sometimes. So I walked into his room and I got Dragon Warriors 3 and 4 off of him. Which I still have the cartridges to this day. So through that I get to play Dragon Warrior 3 and 4. And Dragon Warrior 4 became one of my favorite games of all time.
Nice.
Because, and here's the thing, you know that bit Octopath Traveler became kind of famous for because you had several stories that you played through at the beginning and then you played through the main hero story?
Yep.
Dragon Warrior 4 did that. You got and even though they were kind of short, you still got a full and complete story in chapters 1 through 4 that introduced you to all the characters you were going to be playing with in chapter 5. But it was still a full and complete story for each one. And it had something that I hadn't seen before in video game media. I think it was chapter 2 in the game. I could be wrong about this, but I do think it was chapter 2. You played as a princess. A tomboy of a princess, but a princess who basically goes out and sneaks out of the castle very much against her father's wishes because, again, princess, and goes on to win a fighting tournament. Yeah, you basically have to go into this fighting tournament. It's handled much like Dragon Warrior is, all that. But still, the story is she has a couple of frail old dudes helping her that she has to rescue a few times. But she knows absolutely no magic. Her whole skill is she punched the thing. That's her whole thing, is she punches them. And I hadn't seen anything like that up to that point. That was kind of like the first time I'd ever seen the princess go out and just whomp everything. Which I thought was just kind of an amazing storytelling idea.
It actually is cool. Yeah, I'm just maintaining my goofy in-character positivity blog. Yes, it's an Ashita blog, oddly enough. I did it for a friend.
Like it would be anything else with you.
Well, the thing is that I actually gave this Ashita a different talent. Ultimate Kite Maker. I thought it was interesting.
I guess that's a little nicer than Ultimate Hall Monitor.
Well, the thing is, because one of the headcanons people say is like, Taka had a brother named Ashita, and that's why he turned into Ashita, blah, blah, blah. So what I did is I kind of have Taka under, like, technically there, they just don't play a big role. It's just basically his daily life. As well as positivity reminders.